Medieval India, page number 192. Shah Jahan's Balkh campaign. But the conquest of Qandhar was only the means to an end. Shah Jahan was more concerned with the serious danger of recurrent Uzbek attacks on Kabul and their intrigues with the Baluch and Afghan tribes. At the time, both Bukhara and Balkh had come under the control of Nazr Muhammad. Nazr Muhammad and his son Abdul Aziz were ambitious and had launched a series of attacks with the help of Afghan tribesmen for gaining control of Kabul and Ghazni. However, soon Abdul Aziz headed a rebellion against his father and only Balkh remained under the control of Nazr Muhammad, who appealed to the Shah Jahan for help. Help secured from the side of Persians, Shah Jahan accepted the appeal with alacrity. He moved from Lahore to Kabul and deputed a large army under Prince Murad to help Nazr Muhammad. The army, which consisted of 50,000 horses and 10,000 footmen, including musketeers, rocketeers and gunners, and a contingent of Rajputs, left Kabul in the middle of 1646. Shah Jahan had carefully instructed Prince Murad to treat Nazr Muhammad with great consideration and to restore Balkh to him if he behaved with modesty and submission. Further, if Nazr Muhammad expressed a desire to regain Samarkand and Bukhara, the prince was to do everything to help him. Obviously, Shah Jahan wanted a friendly ruler at Bukhara who looked to the Mughals for help and support. But Murad's impetuosity ruined the plan. He marched on to Balkh without waiting for instructions from Nazr Muhammad, ordered his men to enter fort of Balkh, in which Nazr Muhammad was residing, and curtly asked him to wait on him personally. Uncertain of the prince's intention, Nazr Muhammad fled. The Mughals were forced to occupy Balkh and hold it in the face of a sullen and hostile population. Nor was an alternative to Nazr Muhammad easily available. Abdul Aziz, son of Nazr Muhammad, raised the Uzbek tribes against the Mughals in Transoxania and mustered an army of 120,000 men across the river Oxus. Meanwhile, Prince Murad, who had been pining for home, was replaced by Prince Aurangzeb. The Mughals made no effort to defend the Oxus, since it was easily fordable. Instead, they placed pickets at strategic places and kept the main force together so that it could march easily to any threatened point. The Mughals were well positioned. Abdul Aziz crossed the Oxus but soon found himself face to face with a large Mughal army. In a running battle, the Mughals routed the Uzbeks out of the gates of Balkh in 1647. The victory of the Mughals at Balkh paved the way for negotiations with the Uzbeks. The Uzbek supporters of Abdul Aziz melted away and he now made overtures to the Mughals. Nazr Muhammad, who had taken refuge in Persia, also approached the Mughals for the restoration of his empire. After careful consideration, Shah Jahan decided in the favor of Nazr Muhammad. But Nazr Muhammad was first asked to make an apology and humble submission to Prince Aurangzeb. This was a mistake, since the proud Uzbek ruler was unlikely to demean himself in this way, particularly when he knew that it was impossible for the Mughals to hold on to Balkh for any length of time. After waiting vainly for Nazr Muhammad to appear personally, the Mughals left Balkh in October 1647 since winter was fast approaching and there were no supplies in Balkh. The retreat nearly turned into a rout with hostile bands of Uzbeks hovering around. Though the Mughals suffered grievous losses, the firmness of Aurangzeb prevented a disaster. The Balkh campaign of Shah Jahan had led to considerable controversy among modern historians. From the foregoing account, it should be clear that Shah Jahan was not attempting to fix the Mughal frontier on the so-called scientific line. The Amu Darya, the Oxus, the Amu Darya was, as we have seen, was hardly a defensible line. Nor was Shah Jahan motivated by the desire to conquer Samarkand and Fagarana, the Mughal homelands, though the Mughal emperors frequently talked about it. Shah Jahan's objective, it seems, was to secure a friendly ruler in Baluch and Badakshan, the areas which bordered Kabul and which had been ruled over by Timurid princes till 1585. This, he believed, would also help in controlling the disaffection of the Afghan tribes living around Ghazni and the Khyber Pass. The campaign was a success in military sense. The Mughals conquered Balkh and defeated Uzbek attempts to oust them. This was the first significant victory of Indian arms in the region, and Shah Jahan had reason to celebrate it. However, it was beyond the strength of the Mughals to maintain their influence at Balkh for any length of time. Politically also, it was difficult to do so in the face of southern Persian hostility and an unfriendly local population. All in all, while the Balkh campaign raised the prestige of Mughal arms for a time, it gained them little political advantage. Perhaps it would have been more advantageous to the Mughals and would have been saved considerable expenditure of men and money if Shah Jahan had firmly adhered to Kabul-Ghazni-Qandhar line so laboriously established by Akbar. Anyhow, Nazr Muhammad remained friendly to the Mughals as long as he was alive, and there was a constant exchange of envoys between the two. Thank you everyone for tuning in. In the next part, we'll start with the Mughal-Persian relations, the last phase. All the best for exams. Do share and subscribe the channel and keep supporting us. Thank you everyone.